What is up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. Today is July the 24th. It is a Wednesday. We're midweek of the trading week, and we had some great movement last night. A lot of Euro fundamentals. Check my latest message on Telegram if you are on there on how to get set up on the portal. More specifically, how to get onto the New York live session and the chat. So for the first few minutes, I'm just going to be letting you guys get settled in and let you guys ask your questions and log into the portal. I'll also be sharing the link on Telegram for people to join who seem to be having problems getting onto the portal. If you do have problems, email support@forexlens.com and we'll help you get back on there. So until I officially start, send in your pair recommendations, your questions, and we can get started. Also, you guys can use the charts on the trading view to the left. If you don't see the charts, you may be on the old portal. If that is the case, please message support@forexlens.com and we can fix that for you. But yeah, you can load up the charts that I'm looking at right now and plot your key levels there. And when you log back in, you still have access to what you've done. So send in them recommendations. To use the chat if you're on the portal, make sure you're logged on to YouTube on the same browser. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So we have a few recommendations in. Cool. Last night I posted a Euro USD chart, adding on to the analysis I posted Monday about the 1.11,000 SEK level. I also posted a few crypto charts for people that are interested. Pound, yen, Aussie USD, cool. You guys could also ask me trading related questions as well. Alright, we have people settling in, that's good. If you have any recommendations for the portal, be sure to send them in. We're always open to suggestions and improving our service. One big thing I want to remind you guys while I'm still doing some of the admin stuff is the current portal that we're offering. It is included within the signals. So if you buy signals from us from here on out, the portal and trading room will come with these signals with no added cost. However, until July 31st, so let me just show you guys. So over here we have our current prices, right, for a signal program. These prices, if you become a signal member before July 31st, which is next Wednesday, you'll be grandfathered into this price from here on out. After August 6th, after the 31st, our price for the trading room and signal membership is going to increase. So for example, instead of 75 per month, it's going to turn to 97 per month. So if you're trying to save big time and you enjoy the trading room, try to get grandfathered in now when you still can. A lot of these sessions are getting a lot of good feedback, and you're learning how to trade. We really advise at Forex Lens to use signals as a tool. So if when I send out a signal or Blitz, Adam, whoever, and it doesn't agree with your analysis, you can pass on the signal. And over time, using that sort of way of thinking, plus attending these live sessions, can really make you into an independent trader. A lot of our providers, me included, have been trading for 5+ years, and a few of them years were painful, hard, a lot of hard work, a lot of money lost in the first year or two, but we found the way that works for us. So during these live sessions, if my way of naked trading or trading key levels, price action doesn't fit with what you're going into, just try to pick up a thing or thing or two here and there and try to implement into your trading style, so you're not forever basically trapped as a signal member. You can be your own trader, your own shot caller. A lot of you guys are in different time zones, and the best feeling is placing a trade after your own analysis and then seeing the profits come into your account. There's a nice sense of pride and accomplishment that goes into that, and so we all want you guys to get to that journey, that point in time. So hopefully this service will expedite you. The signals will help you learn and earn, and these trading sessions, you have me as a mentor for 30 minutes from Monday to Thursday. You can ask me any trading related question, my opinion on pairs, and we think it's a good value. And on top of that, you're getting Bloomberg Live free on the portal, TradingView Pro, so you can search up as many charts you want, Forex, crypto, and then you're also getting past sessions. So if you remember some of our older YouTube videos on Ichimoku or GAN, you can look at those. And all our live sessions are archived, so I know people live like in New Zealand, right now they're probably asleep. So if you live in different time zones and you're afraid of missing a live session, you don't have to change your sleeping schedule. Just go to the portal, or even on our website we have a live session archive where you can watch the previous live session. So I think that handles most of the admin stuff, and by now everyone should be settled in. Questions? I am in a buy position. Cool. It's great that some people are already entering trades by themselves. Aussie USD. Let me just check my MetaTrader. I still have a short position running, a runner. We're still in Euro Pound. Pound NSD has, so this is why you move stops to entry. I'll show you guys on the chart. But without further ado, I'm going to get started. Let's just go with the Euro Pound trade. It's a beautiful trade. I called last night. Obviously we're coming off this nice descending trend line right here, and this blue resistance region where we wicked really nicely. Let me zoom in. So we wicked really nicely here, and all I was waiting on the lower time frame. If we go to the 4-hourly, we can see we kind of created the head and shoulders pattern. This is the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and where the shoulders and the neck meet, which is right here. You see how this meets here and this meets here? This is the neckline. And so last night, after the negative Euro PMI, and this is the manufacturing PMI right here. All these came negative in terms of their actual. So obviously that led to some fallout in the Euro pairs, more than others. So Euro Yen, we saw a quick snap of like 25 pips or 30 pips, which we secured. Euro Pound, we had a nice fallout. We're like 65 pips deep, I believe. So it's a great setup. All price action. Just sitting on your hands. If like for example, you know how I drew this trend line. If I extended this out, a lot of amateur traders would have shorted here, but would have got bounced out, or even shorted after this break, and would have been in some drawdown until the final move. So just look for more confluences, trend line breaks, retest of key levels, head and shoulders, double bottoms, anything that points in one direction. The more confluences that point in one direction, the better the trade setup. So that's Euro Pound. Let's move on to Pound NSD. Another great trade, a very quick trade. Pound pairs move really quick. They're pretty volatile. Looking for the analysis I did last night. Bear with me. Man, I might not be able to find it. We'll just go based on this. So the trade was taken basically because we had a push above this weekly trend line, and on yesterday's session I did say that we could have a short opportunity if we rejected off this trend line. Going to the weekly, I can show you this trend line exactly. So it's a nice trend line going through the wicks, not through any candles. And zooming in, we can see that we had previously broken this green level, which is a key level, and we actually closed below it. So it was looking like Pound NSD was going to spill over. But yesterday we had a rebound, and I don't know if the recent election had to do anything with that, but we had a nice pushback within this trend line. And going to the 1 hourly, I saw a swing along opportunity, and we're still in it. So I believe I plotted something like this. I don't know why my key levels aren't on this chart. Probably doesn't save, but I had something like this plotted out. This was our first area of key confluence, and this was one of our take profits. I believe we went up 60 pips, and this is why you move stops to entry, because right now we're right around near our entry, and if you don't secure those profits and you don't take partials, we would have made zero on this trade, maybe even lost some money with swaps and charges. One moment while I check the chat, just get updated. Gold, okay, cool. Scala, what's up? Seeing a lot of regulars, so I might hold a night session tonight. Because when I do hold the night sessions on the odd occasion, completely different people show up. So moving on, Pound Yen. So the pound is recovering against most pairs, but right now it is retracing. All right, cool. This is the chart I wanted. So back to our earlier sessions, this whole region right here, I believe I can clean this up a bit. You know what? Just because I have everyone here and I'm feeling in a pretty good mood, I'll just analyze the whole chart from top to bottom. So this is Oanda. If you guys want to pull up Oanda Pound Yen on TradingView on the portal, you can right now, but or your personal TradingView account. But I'm gonna analyze the Pound Yen from top to bottom. So you guys kind of get how I go about things. So it's top down analysis. So straight away I look for any trend lines or support regions I can draw. I can draw this overall long-term trend line. So since around May of 2007, the Pound Yen has been in a overall downtrend. Okay, just higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And zooming in, we see prices in this area. I want to draw key levels or any trend lines within this area. So any support, I could draw this region right here. So this region, we had wicks down here, a lot of this is where we came from support after this previous fallout. This is where we rebounded. So that's 1 year of confluence that we can short to, because overall the trend is short. You always want to trade with the trend when you can. Zooming in, can I draw any trend lines that make sense? We could draw this. So going based on what we said earlier, overall it's a short, but we can also draw an uptrend like this. Okay, so now we have a kind of an area to target. We had this support zone, we had this longer term monthly downtrend, but also we had this uptrend for our lower lows. Okay, so you see how this was our lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low should be right here, assuming that's where we're gonna go. So this seems all cool. Let's go to the weekly and maybe we can plot down some near-term levels. So on the weekly, zooming out, obviously one near-term level is right here. A lot of wicks. It's also trend line touch. So I'm gonna put a horizontal line right there. Let me look to the left, see if that level has any significance. So looking to the left, we do see this level have a lot of significance. So there's a lot of support, a lot of wick action in this area. We had a break, a fake out, come back down, and then right at this level that we plotted, we had a rally back up. So a nice key level, a long-term short position to go take profit level. Apologize. Now let me see if we broken any recent support, and we have. So right around here, this level right here at 135.843 was a recent support we broke. Now zooming in, we can see that when we did break support, we did come up and retest, and we had a nice rejection. So as a swing trader, if you're in this live session, as a swing trader, you are eyeing shorts with stops just above this key level. What I usually do is call intraday or a few day setups, just because a lot of people have smaller accounts. So let me go to the daily, see if there's an intraday entry available for us. So going on with the overall trend, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We haven't really made any significant push. The yen's pretty much been in control since May of the pound. So looking at key specifics or looking for entries, if I just extend this out, plotting our trend line, we can catch the next lower high. So maybe look for entries somewhere here and then a push down below. If you're into fibs, we can plot fibs just to see where we can retrace. So right around 38.2 is where we meet this trend line. So look for entries around here to go short. And if we were to go short, we can plot a short position just to see the stop loss. So right around the 38.2 fib level, we can have something like this play out. So our stops is just above this key level we talked about, and our take profit is the next trend line touch. So until pound makes any real push above these lower highs and lower lows, the overall trend is down, and I do recommend you guys stay with that basis. Going to the hourly, maybe we see something different. So the hourly is telling us a different story, at least in the short term. Let me actually go to the 4 hour to cancel any noise. So on the 4 hourly, our last lower high was right here, July 17th. And since then, we've actually beat out that high. And since then, we've kind of dipped below, floated around at this key level, and now we're making another push above. So based on this, in the short term, it does look like price is going to retrace to here, like I stated, or at least to this fib. That is what it's looking like on the shorter term. But for the swing traders that are out there, look for shorts off the 38.2 fib level. It's going to take some time for the sentiment with the pound to change right after an election. We get more details about how their monetary policy will be and whether there'll be a no deal for Brexit. But until then, we could have a nice push, retrace to this area somewhere here, and look for shorts. Okay, let me see. 0.85. I'm just checking up on Imran's question. Oh, I apologize. It was late at night. I meant 0.89451. Yeah, so the euro pound sell was at 0.89451, not 0.99451. Sorry, this was like at 4 a.m. But hopefully you guys understood what I meant. Whenever I say sell at, it's current market price. No matter what I say, if I do say sell stop, then it's a sell stop or sell limit. But if I say sell at whatever price, that means enter now or at your earliest convenience. So from time to time there might be a mistake or two like that, but that's what I meant. Hopefully you guys know that by now. Do apologize if you guys are confused by that. So that's euro, that's pound yen. What else did you want? Aussie USD. So we discussed shorts Monday, got into them Tuesday, and it's still looking short. The only thing that may concern me or concern our short positions is that we do have this trend line right here that we are approaching. So from the support region, we have been making higher highs and higher lows. This is our higher high. We can come down and make a higher low and then bounce up to finally break out of this this descending trend line we drew. So it's perfect descending trend line. We have reacted well to it. Zooming in, we have created a bearish engulfing candle. So the possibility of bouncing off the trend line I just drew is pretty slim, but the chance is there, and we are in some profit already. Probably 50 to 60 pips. So you do want to be cautious. You never want to be too greedy. If you want, you can elect to close out, or just close pretty much most of your position and leave a small runner. But we're pretty much almost there, about 5 or 8 pips away from that trend line touch. So be careful around this area. If you are looking for intraday, look for bullish reactions off this level. A bullish reaction, something like this, a nice hammer with a bullish candle as confirmation. Going down even to this point right here, we have a hammer, another hammer, a bullish candle confirmation, and a long. So don't get faked out. If you see any wicks, so if you see any candles like this one or this one off this region, be cautious. The markets are just trying to stop you out. But that's what I see for Aussie. We had a nice short. Shorts are probably coming to an end, but there may be near-term buys. Moving on. Is it okay to enter a euro pound now? I'll look at euro pound again to see if there's an entry, but it does look like it's gonna go all the way. The signals on the portal are sent straight away from Telegram. I believe that is the case. So there shouldn't be a time difference. Just to give a perspective, Forex Lens is based in the Eastern time zone. So whenever the signals are sent around the clock, we have 8 providers. We have 8 providers just to give different trading styles, and just to have signals be sent around the clock. There's people in different time zones, and it wouldn't be fair if we only sent signals during the Eastern time zone. So yeah, if you are looking to get signals sent to your Telegram, please go on to the portal and make sure you're signed up. And if you can log in correctly onto the portal, then just message us, just email support@forexlens.com, and we'll get you connected to the channels themselves. So let me just answer the question about euro pound. I didn't even notice that hiccup, but hopefully people understood what I was trying to say. We have been discussing shorts. It was just a matter of entry. Looking at the 4-hourly, we are starting to wick down. We might actually retrace. In terms of where, let's pull out the fibs on the 2 hourly. So on the 2 hourly, from our recent high to our recent low, we could, and so the 50 fib level right here, the 0.5 fib level, is right where our neckline is. So usually in a head and shoulders pattern, when you do have that break, you often do have a retest of the neckline, and then either a rejection down, which is most often the case, or a pullback up and the setup's invalidated. So because of the Euro PMI, we caught an aggressive move down, and we didn't really have to wait for that retest of the neckline. So based on the fibs, we might, and we probably will retrace to the 0.50 fib level, which is at 0.89555. So if you are looking to enter short again, make sure you have these levels plotted on Euro Pound, and look for sell entries here, because we could just really come back down. You got to see on the smaller time frames, on the 30-minute, for creating any trend line. So let me remove these fibs. Oops. The pound pairs are pretty volatile, and they have no regard for human life. So, it might not retrace all the way back to the 0.50. Oh, I hate trading these sometimes. One second. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the long position, just get some clarity. Okay, so what we can do is actually just pop back below, right? But based on fibs, we can retrace here. This would be a nice safe spot to short if you missed the entry or you're asleep, because if you do enter short somewhere here after rejection, your stops could be pretty much from here to all the way, from here, going to 4 hourly, all the way down to our previous take profit. So if you enter at the 50 fib level, this is the type of risk reward you're looking at, 4.25, and ideally you want to enter just a bit below. So at this neckline, when it does retrace, if it does, you want a rejection, and if you do, you can enter short with stops right around 0.89999. So that's what you can look for. I do see some retracement happening, and maybe to the 30.38.2 or the 23.6 fib level. But the overall bias is short. We've come, too far down to make any real attempt again at this resistance level. So that's Euro Pound. Next up is gold, Euro USD, and gold. If you guys want me to slow down or go over something again, please let me know. So Euro USD, going based off last night. Last night I did post a chart analysis of Euro USD short. Technicals say yes, awaiting poor PMI, and this is where key levels come in. We tap the key level to the T. So this key level right here, 1.11267. We tapped right on the release of the news, and right now we're retracing. This wasn't a signal. This was just it's just a setup I saw I wanted to post. Right now we're back at entry where I posted this. We had a nice rejection of the support, dropping down. I can show you guys. So I guess the charts aren't saving my work that I do at home on my desktop. But anyways, this key level at 1.11500 area, it was support for the past few days. We finally had a break, rejection. A retest, rejection, retest, rejection. So it is looking like we will move down. The overall bias for Euro is the 1.11000 cycle level. That's where I see Euro going, and I do see some entries on the shorter time frame. pulling to the shorter time frame, we have a perfect spot to enter. I might call this. So we have resistance here, resistance slash support that we've created in the near term, and to short it, you can enter now, have stops right around here, and we can go back to this level, have something like this play out over the next few days, hopefully by Friday. This is what I see for EURUSD. But why I didn't call this out when I came early to work, I was looking at possibly shorting euro. But what is concerning me right now is the dollar index. If you guys don't look at the dollar index, make sure you do. This is basically, it measures the strength of the US dollar against about 10 other currencies, and so it gives you a good idea of what kind of power it's showing. I've analyzed it quite a few times in the beginning of our live sessions, but right now we are at and around resistance. So resistance for the dollar index is right around 97.63. Just looking to the left, we've tapped it in March. Looking to the left, we've tapped it in December 18 and in November of 18. So for the last 10 or so months, we've been capped by this level. We did have a push up, but right now, it's looking like we're going to go higher, just because going to the 4 hourly, we see price. So, dollar index try to go higher. Sellers came back, but we had a nice bullish rejection out. So based on what this candle does, if this candle closes back up bullish, we can make a push for 98.43. And if that happens, then our Euro USD should melt. USD CAD should rise, and so that's what I'm looking at right now. If I do enter Euro USD shorts, I'll let you guys know. But for Euro USD shorts, like I said, it's going to be going to the site level 1.11,000. The risk to reward isn't too nice right now. It's not an ideal situation, because what could happen is we could retrace all the way back here and then meet this target level, and the risk to reward is terrible. So I wouldn't enter short right now, just because we didn't get the full significant move down that we can risk half our position to go short. I hope that makes sense to whoever asked. Overall, if you're already short, then your next take profit will be 1.11,000. Okay, so GMT, the signal was given at morning. Crude oil and gold. Is it possible to keep the live session at? Is it possible to keep the live session at 11:45 Eastern? Do you mean start at that time? So 8:15 GMT is 4:15 AM Eastern, and that's when I sent the signal. So the signals are sending directly from the Telegram to the portal. Any ideas? I'll see. Usually 11:45 is near lunch hour. But if a lot of people want that time, we can definitely choose a better time if possible. Moving on, crude oil and gold. So I'm gonna finish off with crude oil, gold, and Euro Aussie. And look out for signals for the rest of the day. We're probably up 120 pips for the week. My goal is 150 at least by the end of the week. So we'll try to attain that. So going on to crude, aka US oil. None of my chart work is saving. I don't know why that's happening on TradingView. Okay. Looking at big picture. Big picture for crude oil is down. Damn, whoever caught this short entry, nice. So actually, if you wanted to, we're going wick to wick to wick in the past. Oops. So we had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and then we had a fake out, and prices closed back in. So in the short term, if you're looking for an intraday setup, we do have this ascending trend line right here, and price is right now testing this trend line. So you can have a nice crude oil short going to the 3 hourly. Actually, don't even use the 3 hourly, my bad. The 1 hourly. You can see a nice rejection out of in around this trend line area. If you're looking for short opportunities, try to draw a trend line like so. So we have this outer trend line, and then we have this right here. So for entries, look for a break of this outer trend line. This is somewhere around 56.46 a barrel. Right around this area, you can have a nice short opportunity down. Looking for key levels. I actually want to clean this up a bit, so I'm going to move this trend line. Looking at key levels, looking to the left. In the near term, next key level for crude oil would be right around here. So right around 53.34 a barrel would be a nice take profit level. We've seen a lot of wicks come in this area. So my bias is short. A nice short-term take profit. So your first take profit level could be at 56.25. 56.25 is right where we had some minor support and where we've bounced off previously before you made this push. So crude oil, I do see downside. Obviously, looking at zooming in, you can see this is a nice teardrop candle forming, and our first take profit is right where we meet this trend line at 56.25. So that's where I'd be going to short for my first take profit. If you're looking for specifics, again, a lot of people that are using the Signal program have smaller account sizes, so that's why I don't really call crude or gold or silver too often. But you're looking at a nice 1.99 risk to reward ratio for shorts. I'll give you a second to jot that down. Gold should be a opposite story of U.S. oil. Okay, so gold is ranging nicely. So earlier this week, someone asked me about gold. I gave them a short from here to here. This was the first take profit, so they made around 50 or 60 pips. And now when we've bounced back at our key level and came back at the same key level, and we're reacting pretty much the same. So these key levels are really important, guys. Have them on your charts. If it's too tedious to go back to the past live sessions, just email support at Forex Lens, and what I can do is actually click this right here and save this image and actually just send out these charts to you guys with these levels already plotted, so you can just copy onto your charts. But gold, right now it's shorting off this key level. Looking to the left, we haven't made any real break. Just to go back to the upside, we had this nice fake out, but after this big candle closure, we came right back down within range. And on the 1 hourly, I believe the entry for short has passed. So if you had, if you were in the live sessions from the jump or from even last week, you would have entered short at this level, and your stop loss could have been less than 3 pips. Could have had something like this play out. $3.336 risk to reward, and this happened. So it's happening once here, happened twice here, 3 times, 4 times. So that's 4 setups. Not using any confusing indicator, just the key level, just the range from this range to this range. So from 1429 to 1416, 4 trade setups within a span. So the 17th within a span of 7 days. And let's say you try to short here, and your stop loss is around this many pips, around 30 pips. You would have got stopped there on this occasion, but you would have won this trade, you would have won this trade, you would have won this trade, and you would have won this trade. So it's all about playing the percentages and just looking at price action. So I do see gold, for whoever asked, coming back to try 14.16 again. On the flip side, look for longs. So longs off this key level, same thing. Stops very short off this key level. We have a 4.6 in this occasion. You would have won this trade. When it came down here, you would have won this trade. When it came down here, you would have won this trade. And if it comes down here, given the probabilities, look for a bullish reaction off the zone and you can have another winner. So that's about 8 wins within a span of 7 days, all using a trading range. So that's gold. Any last minute remarks? Today's session has been pretty long, but it's good. It's Wednesday, a lot of market movement. Crude inventory today was positive, so let me look at that. Yeah, short-term gold is bearish. Okay, so that's nice that you mentioned this. So crude oil inventories, you are correct. It was today at 10 a.m. and looking at their forecast, negative 4.2 versus negative 10.8. Off the bat, this yellow folder means it's not high impact. So it's not really going to cause any movement in the market. And then second, when you go down here, you see the usual effect, no consistent effect. They're both inflationary and growth implications. So this isn't a factor where, if they're holding less barrels than predicted, crude oil is going to go down. It's such a very minor fundamental for crude. Majorly for crude oil, it's usually the CAD fundamentals. The Canadian dollar is a major driver for oil prices, or at least U.S. oil. So that's what you got to watch out for. And as far as I see, Thursday we don't have any Canadian fundamentals. So the rest of the week we don't have any CAD fundamentals for crude. Based on last week's fundamentals, I believe the Canadian dollar is weaker. So we should see crude be dovish for the time being. But that's great you mentioned that, Imran. It's hopefully that helps you understand. So when you are looking at fundamental news, you tend to want to look out for the dark red folders or the oranges. The oranges sometimes, if you're in a trade, you don't have to get out. But for the red ones, if you don't know what you're doing or just don't understand the release itself, get out, because there could be some very quick movements in the markets. So that's today's session. I think it was a really good one. We made some decent pips last night. I stayed up pretty late. Hopefully everyone's getting comfortable with the portal. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the week's last session. We only hold sessions Monday to Thursday. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. Be on the lookout for signals. I will send out, maybe 1 or 2 trades to finish off the trading week. So be on the portal and the Telegram. And also follow us on TradingView so you can follow my, latest chart posts. For example, I do Bitcoin, crypto from time to time. So if you're interested in that, you can catch on those as well. So enough talking. I'm tired of my voice. I hope you guys had enjoyed this session, and I hope you guys make some pips. Happy trading, and I'll see you tomorrow.